Hi, this is a Nikon F4 35mm film camera, and this year it actually celebrates its 25 years since its production, which started in 1988 and run through till 1997. It was still available for sale in the year 2000 or even later, I believe. Lovely camera. At the time it was Nikon's flagship camera, top professional camera, and I think it's really superb. I'm just going to run through the features and controls, tell you a bit more about it. I'll start from the back. You've got a remote release terminal socket there, covered by a plastic lug. The camera back itself, which has a preview window in for the film cassette when it's inserted, so you can see what film you've got. You've got the Nikon name at the top there, the serial number. Moving up to the finder, this is the standard DP20 finder. You've got the viewfinder window itself, this cover screws off. You've got a cover for the inside which blocks off any light if you're taking pictures on a tripod, anything like that. On the top there's a normal flash socket, and on this particular one, the later ones had a hole like the new Nikon digital cameras have for the flashes to fit firmly in there. This is an earlier one which doesn't have that. Also on the finder you have the eye diopter adjustment button, which just rotates left and right for adjusting the focusing on the LCD screen inside. Here is the exposure type setting. It's currently set on matrix metering, and you adjust that by turning this dial. That is centiweighted metering, and you can move it to spot metering, and these options depend on what finder you've got fitted. This one offers all three options. Keeping onto the finder then, you have a exposure compensation dial here. There's a screw on the inside of the finder, and that's for adjusting for different focusing screens if you need to. I'll show you how the finder comes off. You've got a little lever here, and again this is an earlier one. On the later ones you have to press the lever in, slide it down, press the lever again to pull it off. With this one you can just press the lever once and it slides fully off. That's the little screw for the exposure adjustment for the different focusing screens. That's the focusing screen, that's the standard one. You just put your finger in there and that can pop out. You can place those different ones, of course. Put that back on. So you put the film in, the rewind levers here and the rewind crank, a little button here at the side. Press that in, pull the rewind lever up and it releases the back. So you put the film in, put the cartridge in, put down the lever, pull the film leader itself across to the red mark, and when it's lined up with the red mark you can shut the back and it takes up the film to the first frame automatically. Auto wind, of course. That's the pressure rollers and backplate. Also on the top you have the ISO setting, a little button here to adjust that. Press that in and this dial rotates and it goes from the DX setting, which automatically sets the film ISO according to the cartridge fitted, or you can manually set it between 6 and 6400 ISO. It's the shutter speed dial, which is very easy to find when you're looking through the viewfinder. Find that with your finger. Nice big dial. I'll just go through the settings for you. The X setting is the flash sync setting, high speed setting of 1/250th of a second. It locks on that setting. To release it, just press the centre button, turn the dial, and you can turn it to all of the settings. The T setting, you press the shutter, you can let go, the shutter remains open until you move the dial to another setting. On the B setting, standard bulb, press the shutter button, let go, and the shutter releases. And then you've got the time settings from 4 seconds all the way up to 1/8000th of a second. Next to that, you've got the exposure compensation dial, which goes from -2 to +2 stops. Just press the little button, you can flick the dial around with one finger, setting it against that mark there. Very nice. Clearly see what it's set at without having to look through the viewfinder. This little lever here is the multiple exposure lever. You pull that out, stops the film advancing, so you can take another frame, another shot in the same frame. Then it resets itself. To rewind the film, you've got a rewind lever here. This one's called R1. You press the button in, pull the lever, and then you can pull up the rewind crank, turn it in the direction of the arrow until the film rewinds back in the spool. Or, if you wish, after pressing and pulling the R1, if you then press the R2 button, pull that lever, it rewinds the film automatically. So you've got two options there to rewind the film. Some people prefer to do it manually because it's a lot quieter, of course. Also on the exposure compensation dial, you've got the exposure mode setting, which goes from program high, programmed, shutter priority, aperture priority, or fully manual. You just flick this lever here to make the setting. This is the film advance window. Shows you what film, what number the film counter is currently on. You've got the lugs for the strap, of course. On the front here, you have the shutter release button itself and the drive mode. It's currently on L for locked. You just press in that button, then you can turn this dial. And to S, which is single frame, one at a time. So I've got the shutter speed dial set on T. I'll show you that again. 1/500th of a second. CH, which is continuous high, which is with this battery pack, the MB20, the small one, it's 4 frames per second. If you have the MB21, you can get up to 5.7 frames per second. CL, which is continuous low, and that's 3.3 frames per second. CS, which is C, I think it's C silent, C quiet, which is 1 frame per second. It's a very strange noise. And you've got the timed, press that, sets the timer in motion, I think it's 10 seconds. Light flashes to let you know, and then it will fire the shutter after 10 seconds. Got the Nikon name at the front, F4 logo. You've got a PC sync socket. This is the grip, just turn the power off. I'll show you how the grip comes off. Got a little release lever here, pull that, turn, and the battery pack grip comes off. That was 4 AA batteries. The MB21, it's a longer handle and also has a base underneath which attaches to the tripod socket on a little wheel. That holds another 3 batteries, 7 batteries altogether. Quite a bit bulkier, but also has a shutter release button on the bottom as well. But personally I prefer this, much more compact, makes the camera feel very nicely in your hand. Moving to the front then, you have the depth of preview button. You have the mirror lockup button, lever, sorry. Shoots back down. You have a autofocus lock button. Press that in when you point at something you want to focus on, and it will hold the focus on that position till you fire the shutter, or let go of the button I should say. You also have an auto exposure button as well for locking the exposure, or if you flick this lever to that setting it will lock both exposure and focus. For the lens mount itself, you've got the release button for the lens, and very unusual, in fact there's not many cameras got this feature on. It's got a adjustment here. You can make it set so it will actually accept even non-AI lenses, pre-AI lenses I should say, which is very unique. It will take AI, AF, AFS, G lenses as well, although obviously you can't set the aperture. Very versatile. Also on the front you have the focus mode, single focus, single shot focus, C for continuous focus, focus all the time, or M obviously for completely manual focus. As I pointed out before, you've got the tripod socket at the bottom, and that's about covers it. Lovely camera. Definitely recommend you'd get one. That you can pick them up from £150 upwards on eBay, and it's really nice to use one of these cameras. Go back to film for a bit. It's quite an experience, and as I say, it works with all the current lenses as well, and speed lights. The lenses side, obviously the DX lenses will work, but you get the vignetting effect, which obviously you don't want, so you don't want to use DX lenses with it because it's a full frame camera, of course, film camera. Lovely camera, can't fault it. That's it for now. Another video I'll cover showing you it with the some different lenses and maybe a speed light and that as well. That's it for now. Thank you for watching.